hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Gentlemen.
How are you, my friend?
Quite well. Pleased to be with you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good to be back after a couple days off.
How's the trip?
It was very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, everything fell right into place. It was one of those where
You found your dad's key, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Were able to turn on the water without issue.
no problems there. No, we were having a discussion, me and T-Roy and Tooch, afterwards, like, wow, usually there's someone holding the pack back, that can't get going and you're late or wants to stay later than everybody else. We just all seem to be on the same track, like
three dudes, you know what I mean?
yeah, it was just three guys. It would have been different with the ladies present, but I'm sure. But we were like, yeah, everyone was just like, yo, man, I'm just whatever the team wants to do, I'm in. It was just like, and meant it.
That's such a big dude.
Just meant it. It was
such a big
hilarious.
difference.
Was it a 3-day thing?
5 days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time to have everybody on the same page.
On the same page. Well, we had 2 days that were basically blocked out. We knew we were going to go to the Stanford-Cal football game at Stanford, and we knew we were going to go to the Niner-Packer game, God willing, on Sunday night. So those were done, and then it was like, okay, one day, going to the city. Troy's got to see Marin County, right? He's got to get into Marin and Sausalito, that sort of thing. So we'll do that, like, city day where you go to the Golden Gate Bridge and go to Marin County, all that kind of stuff. Fuck.
You were thinking about it the whole time.
The whole
weren't you?
time.
Yeah.
It's ruined Marin for me.
Yeah, well.
And then one day it was like, let's go down 17-mile drive, which is the coastal run. You pay a toll, like $8 or something, and you get this coastal run, and it goes Pebble Beach and Spyglass and all
Just
those.
three guys cruising in your dad's Buick LeSabre, huh?
Cruising in the Ford Milan or the Mercury Milan. But, I know Tooch is a huge golf fan, so is Troy. So, Tooch has played Pebble before. But Troy'd never been there. He's never been to California. And so, going and seeing all that shit and doing all that stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. It's a cool, like the Lone Cypress, which is one tree on an island. You got to go, like, walk down this wooden thing. But it's the logo for Pebble Beach. If you see the tree logo that they have,
Okay.
it's the Lone Cypress, which is hanging on by a thread. They're doing everything they can, but Mother Nature and weather are eroding. And
What are they gonna do?
I don't know. They put like a box around it to keep it there. It's been there forever.
I mean, I don't know why they don't just pick it up off the ground and move it 10 feet.
It's not
back.
on the ground. It's growing out of a rock structure coming out of the ocean.
That's life.
Yeah, it is.
There's a house right now, and they have there's a live viewing stream of this house in Michigan, like Western Michigan, that's falling. It's about to fall into
I've seen
Lake
that.
Michigan.
Yep.
Really?
Yes, and there's a live stream of it. You can watch it. You can watch it on
Like a Big Eagle camp.
Yes, as it's happening live.
But is that an official landmark though? Because this is like an official
Somebody's
California
house.
landmark.
No, but they should do that with that. They should have a live stream of that tree.
Yeah,
and then we could all just watch it.
But when I say hang on by a thread, it could be 200 years before it actually gives way.
Well, nonetheless.
Who knows? But yeah, it's not looking good.
But you made it to the Niners game?
We did.
Good.
Made it to the Niners game, and just the joy in having all those assholes walking in packs. The Packer fans tend to go in packs. So there'd be 20 of them together, all in their green and yellow going, "Go, Pack, go!" That stupid fucking chanting. Go, Pack, go.
It's only stupid because you don't like it, right?
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
Definitely okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, is go Niners from either side of the stadium any better? No, it's not.
Yeah.
But we don't do that walking into a stadium.
Well, only because it's not. I don't think it's doable.
Do-do-do-do. Go, Pack, go. Like that whole thing. And they were so excited to do that until about 3 minutes into the game. And then.
Oh, they got buried?
Yeah,
That's something that I've always thought about. I want to see it. I love this. I have seen like my team on the road before, and there is something fun about it because you feel like, oh my God, I'm a real fan. I'm here, and fuck, I flew to San Francisco to watch my team.
Oh, they were.
But the biggest fear is what you just described, like having a situation where it's like you're so excited, you buy this whole trip, you spend money on something, and then it's like. That happens. They just lay
ass kicked.
And that is a situation where a close loss, a heartbreaking loss, would be 100% better than getting your ass kicked.
Yeah,
like
it's
it
over
would
early.
Be.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
And Packer fans were not taking it well. I saw some walking out of the stadium and they're just friggin' mad and they're yelling and they don't know who to blame because you can't blame the refs when you get beat 38-8 or whatever it was. You know what I mean? And so they're just angry and mad. And then at the airport the next day, they're You know, because we were leaving the next morning, flying out, and so I
God,
get to
that'd
the
be such
airport,
a
and they're on the flight. It's
Oh my
like,
God.
you flew out for that game, didn't you? They're wearing all their green and yellow still. They're just sitting there waiting for the plane. It's like, no.
I
And
think
that
about
is
it-
devotion, dude.
I know, right?
Fly out to San Fran for a regular season NFL
Well,
game.
you know
Yeah.
what? I think though, a lot of times people, when you're looking for an away game to go to, if you're from Wisconsin or Detroit, you look for like, oh, let's go see them in Tampa Bay, or let's go. You know, you don't choose to see like, let's go see them at Minnesota as much. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can turn San Francisco into a vacation. It's warm.
Yeah,
from Green Bay.
Yeah, but you can just tell the Packer fans are such proud fans. They're wearing their colors no matter what. And seeing them at the airport all bummed out the next day, but still got their Packer gear on.
I think about it all like I think about it all the time. When I'm gonna spend like I missed one time, like not that OCC is the biggest deal, but I was trying not to. I try not to just miss classes, and like I missed a class to go to a Tigers playoff game once or stuff like that. And I really didn't even have money. I was pretty tight. Like I probably shouldn't have spent the money. And I always think in my mind, if they win, I don't fucking even think about them. Like I was there for this moment. I saw it. If they lose, everything in my mind goes to like,
Was
fuck,
it a
I
day
missed-
game?
Can you
No, it
imagine
was like
how
at 5
E's life
o'clock.
would be different had he attended that class?
Yeah.
My God.
It was an
You would have been
astronomy
radically
class.
different.
Astronomy.
You know what?
It's the astronomy file.
You know what's funny? You know what bullshit? I got another life lesson actually in that situation where honesty is not like fucks you over so often. Like the teacher was a pretty nice guy and stuff, and it was obvious that he even liked sports because we had a time one time when we were.
One time.
I know. I realized after I said it, but we were outside looking through the thing, looking at the stars and shit.
What were you
And he-
looking through?
The telescope. I
There
couldn't
you
think
go.
of it.
Looking through the thing. I was satisfied with the thing.
I couldn't think of it.
Looking at the stars and
Yeah.
shit.
And he was
looking at the
asking
stars
us-
through the thing and stuff.
And he was asking people if they had updates on the Tigers game. So I knew he was even a fan. And we had a quiz that day or whatever. And I wrote an email saying, hey, I understand there's a quiz today. I had a chance at these tickets. I didn't want to turn it down. I wanted to be honest and let you know what was happening. And he just wrote me a letter back saying, well, no excuse to miss.
Oh,
I know,
he was
blah, blah, blah.
resentful.
Like,
He wanted to be there.
And it's
It's like,
dude,
fuck that kid.
I could have
I'm surprised he didn't just go, dude, it's a fucking quiz at OCC. Like, whatever.
I could have fucking so
Seriously,
easily
whatever.
said I was sick. I could have not shown up and told anything, but I was honest about it, and I got fucked over.
Yeah, that's why honesty's not
it
always the
doesn't-
best policy.
It's
a
almost
lesson for
never
you.
the best
Yeah.
policy.
Yeah,
in my experience in life.
You're better off lying through most of life, E. That's what the
I
that's the
agree.
takeaway here.
Hey, speaking of sports, at Twin Peaks, their made-from-scratch menu has something for every sports fan. Indulge in their all-new smoker selects like the Carolina pulled pork sandwich or sweet and smoky ribs. I was trying to add a smoky in there.
Don't
Just
do that.
simply sweet and smoky ribs. Nothing pairs better than a 29-degree draft beer. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Do you actually like? Do you have enough with your liking? Like California, do you like the Golden Gate Bridge like I like the Mackinac Bridge, or you're not? caring
Yeah.
that
Oh
much?
yeah.
Like, will you just do you every time you get there? Are you
Do you walk
actually
across
like,
it every year?
Oh,
No, I've
shit,
never
that's
walked
it?
across it. I there's plenty of
But
times
like,
I've
do you
been
like
there and
have
not
that feeling
gone
towards
there.
it though?
Yeah. It's just a cool.
A feeling toward it?
I love the Mackinac
cool
Bridge.
layout.
I'm
that
in
whole,
love with it.
That whole Bay area, you can see like the
Yeah.
Golden Gate, the Bay Bridge, and
Yeah.
then like Alcatraz.
Yeah.
And like you can see the whole city sky,
Yeah.
skyline.
I was just
like
curious.
it's more than just that. Plus, usually you can be up on a mountain overlooking.
Right.
Like it's just so scenic and
Yeah. I'm just
nature.
curious.
Like,
Better,
you'd love
way
it.
better than the Mackinac Bridge.
Way
Dare
better.
you? How
Way
dare you?
better.
How fucking
I mean,
dare
world
you?
class.
Not even
Better
close.
color.
I don't agree with that.
So if,
Any of those
when they
remarks.
do top bridges worldwide, where does Mackinac come in?
I mean, at one point it was the
world.
world's longest extension bridge.
Right,
So, you know,
right.
and
Hang
it
on to that.
separates two
Yeah.
incredible situations. I mean, that
Separates two incredible situations.
Yeah, like land masses.
a state of two peninsulas. It
Yeah.
connects those
I don't know why it's
together.
not Wisconsin's, to be honest.
Yeah,
if
it
we're all
should be.
being
Well, it
honest,
should
with
be
ourselves.
Ohio's technically, but
Well, put that aside. It's connected to Wisconsin.
I mean, I think that it's up there.
But
I
for
think
your
that it's up
beloved
there.
expanse,
Two straits, it goes over top the Mackinac Straits. I mean, come on.
Yeah. One of the things
you won't win. You will never win that argument with anyone.
I don't think it's well, people in Michigan I can.
No,
But
you
yes, I know people. There are people like me
reasonable
out there.
people. Come on.
reasonable people.
I'm not saying it's the best on the planet. I'm saying that I'm saying there's something
Better than the
about-
You
Golden
like
Gate.
the Mackinac Bridge, is what you're saying.
I love the
You-
Mackinac
We got
Bridge,
it.
yeah.
You like the Mackinac Bridge. It's better than the Zilwaukee, right?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
The Zilwaukee Bridge.
No, I learned something though. Like I've usually, when I've gone to college football games, it's usually been Michigan. I've been to plenty of Michigan State games, been to Western football, stuff like that, but mostly majority U of M. And people were like, "Oh, how was the Stanford Cal game? You know, big rivalry game." And all I could say was kind of adorable. It was kind of adorable because
Really astounding.
it is so small compared to like what we think of.
Yeah, I
as
was looking at the
big-time
pictures. and
college football.
It was kind of interesting seeing the
Yeah.
photo of a stadium.
Like how many people in there?
50,000, and it's got a good crowd. It was pretty filled up. But you're walking around, it's like in the parking lot. Like when you go to a Michigan game or a concert, they're like, back into this spot or pull into this spot. No, back it up, move it over 2 inches. 2 inches.
yeah.
Like this, people are just like
Yeah.
randomly pulling in and parking half sideways, cockeyed, backing
Wherever
in
you
there.
want.
Yeah,
I was
just
looking room for
find a
everybody.
spot.
I saw the only picture you posted from a, I guess, quote unquote, tailgate. And all I saw was a group of people in the back with one little small table with a few beers on it. I was just like, boy.
It's so different from like Michigan or Michigan State, you know, where you've got full on. I mean, there's some of that.
Yeah.
People get the tents and stuff and the bus and whatnot, but
Well,
yeah,
I mean-
dude, it was pretty wild. And we had seats right in the end zone, like behind the goalposts, front row. And so we're sitting there and we got to watch them pull up the thing so that the net goes up. There's a whole system to that.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't realize that thing gets caught on everything. And so there's a guy in the middle that's got to be responsible for making
God,
sure
you
it's
think
not
they could
caught.
have that automated at this point? You think there could be someone could create a machine, a mechanism that could just
Well,
pull
it's
it
pretty
up and
cool.
down.
It's kind of like the blinds. Like you pull them and then you let go and it drops. Like these metal rings are connected at the top and all the way down. And when they do that, the guy's like, "Go ahead, just tug on it, give it a tug and let it go." And things just like comes falling down. And but they're all Stanford kids. And you just see the unathletic nature of the nerd. You know,
no.
it's like, you know, they're trying to cheer along, and it's just like, yeah, he's a nerd.
Go Cardinal.
Yeah, he's going to be a doctor or something cool. He's going to make a lot of money, but
Right.
he's a dork.
Dude,
I
that
thought you
was-
said you've been to Michigan games.
Huh?
I thought you
It's
said you've been
not-
to Michigan
I don't think
games.
it's the same.
Yeah,
though.
but-
Well,
I know,
actually,
there's enough Walmarts
yeah,
over there.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
Well, when you see the Michigan guys on the sideline, cheerleaders, where they're athletic, whatnot. Stanford, they're a little, very, very nerdy.
Talking about like the differences, like, and I know that this is even close to Stanford, but like I went to Indiana one time, you know, because my buddy was there for grad school, and the difference, like, too, like, they were walking around trying to get people to get student tickets. They were just like a guy with a little thing just going, "Hey, anyone want tickets? Anyone want tickets?" for like the student section. And then none of them had season tickets, so they're just, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And he's like, "Okay, I'll just scan your ID. Like, any IDs will work." And I'm like, I don't have one." He goes, "Any ID with a student ID will work." And the one guy had another ID from his previous school. He goes, "Okay," and he just hands it to me. And the guy's like, "Good enough. Boom, $10 or whatever." And it's like
Yeah.
the difference in getting into a game. I mean, he
Yeah.
was just begging people to be like, "Anybody, seriously,
Yeah,
just show
it's-
me a library card. I'll get you in."
Yeah, we love our tackle ball here in Michigan.
We sure do, man. There's just so much to do out there. I get it why people don't, you know,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
make
out
them,
west.
you know, like we gotta
got
be here
here,
at
man.
this, and yeah,
It's
yeah.
what we have here in some way.
I don't know if this is good or bad. I was torn on this, whether it was extreme pride or just pathetic. I tossed it around the room. We ran the plane out of Jack Daniels on the way there. Yeah.
Sometimes I found they lie about that, though.
You think so?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I could definitely see that.
They see you
happening.
getting wasted, and they're like, fuck these guys.
I don't think Sherry was lying about it. She even asked us if we, like, you guys aren't driving, are you? We're like, no, we got a fucking Uber going to the house. She's like, okay. And then she gave us another one, you know, blah, blah, blah. But as we were coming in to land, so it's, I mean, she ran us right up into the gate.
Yeah.
And then it was like, the other lady's like, because we were right up front, and she's talking to one skyweight, just talking to another. And she's like, I can't find any more Jack Daniels. Someone in the back, some poor sap had ordered one as well. Jack and Coke or something. And she's like, yeah, we might be out. And I was like, fuck yeah.
I mean, there's a lot
Hell
of factors, Mike, that go into that. You could choose to take it in a way that, like, I mean,
Was
there
it
could've-
sad or is it?
Well, no,
there
my
some
point is the
pride in
factors
that?
are that there could have been as little as, like, for whatever reason on their last stop, they just didn't pick up as much, or they assumed they had enough. And
Oh, okay. You're gonna play that card. Okay.
Inventory was low.
So when Kid Rock comes to Pine Knob and they run out of beer, at the show. We should just assume maybe they didn't have as much beer this time around. Instead of giving him
I mean,
credit
that's not the
for having
same
fans that fucking
analogy,
partied that
though.
whole room out of beer.
That did happen at the Eric Church concert, actually, that one time.
So you're just assuming they had less Jack on board. And
I
it
mean,
had
this
nothing to
isn't-
do with
possible.
us.
It's not the same analogy.
That's
though.
possible,
Like,
and it's also possible they cut your ass off.
They didn't cut us off, though. At no point did they cut us off.
But that was their way of doing it. By
they-
saying we don't have any more.
But they didn't. We had to drink up until the gate.
Okay.
So there was no cut off.
No cutoff then.
There was a little slight like, you guys aren't driving, are you? You guys driving? No, we're not driving. Which we could have totally lied. Absolutely, we could have been driving. She wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But we didn't. But I didn't know if that was a sense of pride or shame.
I mean, I don't care. I would never look at the shame side of it. I wouldn't even consider that.
I mean,
would
how many did you drink?
Yeah. Enough to run a plane out of.
No.
Jack
You can't
Daniels.
say that because we don't know what the inventory was. How many did you drink?
Well, between me, Tooch, and T-Roy, God, I couldn't even tell you, dude. I don't even know. I mean, how many bottles,
I
little
would
bottles,
say
did you think
pri-
were on a plane? It was a lot. I can't tell you how much. And then I watched The Lions King.
Yeah, I saw that.
Lion King?
Yeah. I thought I was going to cry. I said, T, if I start welling up, if I start tearing, make sure you get a picture of that. That'll be funny.
Is that the
Never did, man.
the non-animated, the
No,
real,
the newest one.
Yeah, okay.
The one that's
with
the
Beyonce
cartoon.
and shit?
Is it Beyonce that's in it? Couldn't even tell who was voicing those things. I don't know, man. I don't get it. Like, I thought I was going to well up and cry and be a mess. It was going to be sad. Not at all. Not even close. Did you guys find The Lion King?
I didn't watch it.
I've only seen the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't weep. I don't even know if you got tear ducts.
I actually do because I'm the only one in the room
Yeah,
who was
that's
able to
true.
cry on demand, if you recall.
I do.
Hey, before moving on, gentlemen, we must remind of the 5th annual toy drive. Please donate a new unwrapped toy to help a child this Christmas. Saturday, December 7th, 1 to 6 p.m. at the Hamlin Pubs. You can do this at in their donation boxes at both Shelby Township locations, Chesterfield, as well as their Richmond location. Of course, anyone who brings a toy on December 7th gets free pizza and salad.
Yeah.
So do that, please.
Bring a good toy. Bring good toys, not a Warman. Remember that. I read Bob's list the day I was leaving. Bob's list of how to open the house,
Oh, right.
start
right.
the car, all that. It was rather extensive. I heard from a lot of people who really enjoyed hearing Bob's list and the detail that he goes into when he's informing you of how things are to be done. Got to tell you, went off without a hitch. No problems.
Well, some of them were very, very relevant. I mean, necessary. Where's the key? You know, and
Yeah, yeah, car
How do you
key
get
and-
in? Where's the car key,
Does-
etc.
what about the gate? The gate. Open the gate. You know.
Yeah,
is that relevant?
which one did you find like the most needless after being there and going through the process?
It's
where you're
gotta
just
be-
like, fuck, Dad.
It's got to be plugging in the TV. It's got to be
Right?
plugging
Really?
in the TV. Yeah.
Like you to hit the
you
remote?
get-
No,
it's
no power.
just-
What's? Oh, there's the plug. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What about the towel? Did you have to bring out the towel? Did you?
Yeah. So your rings don't
Yeah.
scratch the back of the entertainment unit.
Yeah, I did.
was it
Do,
ready
do you
there?
have
Was the
rings? I don't think. No.
No, I don't.
Was the towel ready? Did you have to find the towel?
I found a towel, which was not hard. I know the
I think
place
if-
rather well.
Don't you think if he's gonna say, if he's worried that you might ding this up and suggest a towel,
He
I
should
think
have
a towel
a towel
should just
waiting.
be there.
Yeah, I agree.
don't think you should have to
Well,
look
he
for
doesn't need a towel. Aesthetically, it's not as pleasing to have a towel there for no reason.
Nobody sets it
But-
there for the.
But for him, he doesn't need the towel because he's very, very careful. But now he's got 3 assholes going over there. He's like, better call in the towel. Better get that going. We didn't need it, but I got to tell you,
That's my favorite, man. I love that one.
What, the
Hold the
towel?
towel between your hand and the entertainment center. Yeah, that's great.
yeah. I got to tell you, it was nerve-wracking leaving, though. For all 3 of us, it was like, oh, God, we can't fuck up Bob's list. He's like, make sure you do this and that. It turns out I'm going to be delayed. I'm not going to be out there in a week. It's going to be a couple weeks probably.
This is really
This
important
is
now.
very important.
Now.
I said, Dad, we got it. We're going to reverse engineer your list, okay? We're just going to do that. Everything will be fine. He's like, okay, great. And I think we nailed everything on there.
Good.
I think. But I got to tell you, heart pounding. Troy, we're in the cab, going to the airport, and Troy's like, so, what do you think we missed, though? What do you think we missed? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we had to miss something. I mean, there has to be something out of place. And I was like, don't.
Well, you'll find out about it soon enough.
Soon
Right.
enough, yeah. I might need to send my sister over there, just have her go through there, just give it a what for, one time cruise through. How was your guys' few days off? Anything fun, exciting happen around here? Was the weather shit? I hope it
No,
was. I hope
man.
it
It
was
was
shit.
great,
It was
actually.
beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, you see, much improved,
I
right?
went golfing
improved.
yesterday.
9 inches. Yeah, 9 inches of snow gone.
Yeah, which was
And,
nice to
ease us
see.
out on the links. I saw on Instagram.
Although
that.
actually, that was
Yeah, where were you?
Kensington or something.
no, that was the whole situation. I wasn't gonna go. I'm not a golfer. I haven't golfed since the Bachelor.
outta here.
Well, no, but I mean, I like golfing, but I
Looks like a
Yeah,
wow.
absolutely.
Well, when I say I'm not a golfer, well, I am. I have clubs and I go. I just don't go that often anymore because I'm just not good at it. I'm not willing to put the time in.
That surprises
But
me.
I woke up.
Shocking, actually.
No, those are both ridiculous remarks, by the way. But I mean, I go bowling fucking every day if I could pay for it. Like,
Right.
Yeah, bowling's expensive. You gotta
well, it is if you.
Bring your own shoes.
I have my
that
own
slashes
shoes.
it in half.
I have my own
Your own
shoes.
own
ball.
ball, own
I
shoes.
actually
Grab
need
your
to
own
get
ball.
new ones. I've had my same bowling shoes since 2006. There's no grip on them anymore. I just
If you
keep-
would have said 86, I would have been like, yeah, sure.
no, but there's no like I should have new shoes because like when I go they slip and shit. Like there's no grip anymore. I just do it because I'm cheap.
Do you have your own ball though?
Oh yeah, of
that will
course.
change your life. Anybody out there
Really?
listening, get your
Absolutely.
own ball. If you're going to become, any.
I have a Simpsons.
sense of
I have a
ball-
custom
bowler.
Simpsons bowling ball. Actually,
really?
too. Yeah.
I had a black Brunswick at one point.
You will up your game by 50 points, man.
Really?
Quickly.
It is a
Very,
big
very
difference
quickly.
because it's just a consistency thing.
Absolutely.
It's just so much about consistency, doing the same thing, same feel every time, whatever.
Sure.
Anyway, the golfing thing though, like I wasn't even planning on it. I just woke up and I saw this Facebook post from a golf course. It's like, hey, we're open today. I was like, you know what? Fuck, why not? It's nice out. It's I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna do it. But I didn't know what
I can't believe there anyone where it would be
Well-
open. You know how soggy the ground is?
Oh, my God.
Well,
It's
here,
just-
and then so here's the thing. I asked I think about my dad. I go, Dad, my dad has the week off. I'm like, Dad, would you want to maybe go golfing? He did not want to fucking go. And I'm like, fuck. If he came, he could have brought the clubs to me. I don't have my clubs
Yeah.
obviously on me. And I kept sitting there thinking about it and finally like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Go home, get my clubs, and I go to the place. What I thought was where, like, I saw the post for a Heartland Glen golf course, and I thought the course, I'm house sitting for the Kennedys, and I thought the course was right there, and I show up with my clubs, and there's these maintenance ladies there. They're like, you here to golf? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, you got to park way down there at the end if you want. I'm like, what about carts? They're like, no, we don't have carts. I'm like, so I have to park down at the end here and then come and pay to pay? She's like, no, you don't have to pay. We're closed.
They
But
just
you
thought you
can-
were jumping the
but you
fence
can-
like everybody
but you
else.
can
Just going to let you run out there?
But you can just, because some guys just park their cars on there and they go on the course anyway. I'm like, so I don't have to pay? And she's like, yeah, whatever. And so I had to walk the course, but it was
Oh,
like,
my God.
they didn't have the pins in the thing and shit. And the thing is, she could have stolen money from me, and like she could have
Yeah.
taken money from me because I was ready. I thought I was ready to pay $26. I'd
Yeah.
called up the golf course and everything, and there was some guys in front of me, and it was funny because when I ended, they had ended just not too long before me.
You're like playing through people on a
Right.
closed golf course.
It was perfect for
How
me.
many holes did you play?
I ended up playing like 10. I kind of walked
Interesting
around.
number.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
well, the reason is because I didn't start like at one because they weren't at the clubhouses,
Gotcha.
and so I just kind of was.
Just made sense geographically.
I just kind of was moving around different places or whatever. And I got back there, and these guys were like, "Hey, did the groundskeeper yell at you?" And they're like, "No, he didn't get to me." He's like. He was going on and on, kind of like your lawn guy kind of situation where he's just like, I just fertilized these greens, and you guys, if you touch it, you might, poison yourself or something.
Why
Like
don't you just say, yeah, the lady up front said to park back here and then hop on? I mean, this isn't
Well,
your
he wasn't
fault.
yelling at me, but he was yelling at them. And when I was explaining to them what happened, they could not like. The one guy almost had tears because I was explaining the fact that essentially I showed up to the wrong golf course, thinking I was ready to pay $26, and then it was just like this lady's like, "Oh yeah, just whatever."
Yeah.
So it worked out pretty good in the end.
Good
I
for
actually had
you.
my
And
best.
You went alone?
Yeah,
Nice.
brought a few beers.
How'd you do?
I mean, I didn't keep. You know what? I didn't do as bad as I thought I would. I mean, if you kept score, it would have been awful. I more judge it on the fact that I actually had a few shots where I was like, "Oh, that shot was good."
Sure.
Like it was. Yeah. There,
That's how
my,
most people, I think.
Sure.
my things off the tee were shit, terrible. But I did have I got one in the sand trap actually, and I probably shouldn't have played it in a way, but I did anyway. And it was actually my best shot I've ever had out of a sand trap. I almost
Looking
chipped
around,
in on the
anybody
sand
see
trap.
that?
I
Did you
almost
put your club
chipped
head
in.
down on the sand before you hit the ball?
No, I do not. I know the rule.
All right.
I'm a terrible golfer, but I still don't. I still try to play by the
So
rules.
what'd you do?
Like, I don't
Chip onto
kick
the
them.
green, and did you knock it in or something?
Yeah, I putted it in.
Did you rake
after
up the
that.
sand?
I mean, I did
Son
take,
of a... You left it.
I took my
Be a
club and
shit
there was no rake there. So I took my club.
That's true. It's closed.
I
It's been
took
closed
my
for 2
club.
months.
Yeah.
It was fun though. It was actually pretty fun in the end because since I suck so bad, the idea of paying
No rake,
$26
that's right.
was like that was kind of a lot. But so that getting to do it for free and just having the course, and I'm so bad too. So I'm by myself. No one's behind me. No one's in. I didn't have to
Yeah.
worry about shit.
Well,
great.
You won't be able to do it much longer if the weather reports are correct. Sounds like there's some horrible shit coming.
Yeah.
High
just
pressure
in
zone.
time. Yeah,
Moving in.
I've never heard of this before, but what are they calling it?
Weather vortex.
No, it's even better than that. It's like a
Come up with something new every year, don't they?
Right,
Some
yeah.
phrase. Last year it was the vortex, the winter
thought of
vortex.
that
Yeah.
a
None
few
of us had
years,
ever heard of
actually.
that.
yeah, shit's going through Denver right now.
Can't they just say a bunch of snow's coming? A storm?
Yeah.
Can we not just call it a storm?
No, there's ones in California too. Like it started on the West Coast and it's coming east. But they were calling it something. God damn it! Well, now I can't find it. Whatever. But yeah, it sounds like Colorado's going to get like a foot or two of snow.
Huh.
And then it sounds like our Thanksgiving will be safe around here, and then rain's coming. Lots of rain hitting the like Saturday, Sunday for the weekend for all of us. But it sounds like 100 million people will be affected in the country. They're already canceling flights. Denver's canceled half their flights this morning. Can you imagine making the time it takes to make those travel plans? What a absolute pain in the ass it is
Yeah.
to get a family to the airport so you can go to Nana's for Thanksgiving, leave a couple days early, and flights canceled already. So yeah,
Get in the car.
3 inches per hour in Denver. Another major storm expected to descend on the West Coast, bringing bomb cyclone.
Bomb
conditions.
cyclone. Yeah, we heard
What's
that last
bomb-
year. Right?
really?
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember.
What is
but-
bomb cyclone?
I don't know. You're holding the story. Let me,
Yeah,
let me duck go it.
So they bringing bomb cyclone conditions with over 2 feet of snow to the mountains in the northwest and flash flooding in Southern Cal. The storm system will then move towards into the Rockies, into the central U.S. on Thanksgiving, into the weekend before dumping rain all over the East Coast.
Oh,
on
you
Sunday.
guys knew this. Explosive cyclogenesis.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the rapid deepening of a extratropical cyclonic low pressure area. Change in pressure needed to classify something as explosive cyclogenesis
Are
is
you
latitude
reading still?
dependent.
Yeah,
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 you guys knew that. Sorry.
Tell us we
course.
don't know.
yeah. Well, it's always about the listener, in case someone missed some of those.
That's true. You're
some
right.
Of those episodes that we really
well, that's why they're
focused on the
listening.
bomb
obvious.
cyclones.
Right.
And yeah, it is a latitude longitude thing. It really is. When you're getting into the mountain regions and whatnot. So
High pressure.
yeah, high pressure zones and all that kind of stuff. God bless. Take care. Thoughts and prayers already with the people out west that might have to deal with that. What are you saying? Ian?
I don't even
Fired
know.
up.
I don't know what I was trying to think. I was thinking. I just don't even. I think the weather, even for the most part, falls in the same line to me as like when you talk about traffic and listening to
Yeah.
WJR. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get that if you're going on a trip, you kind of got to look a little bit. So you just, okay, wow, I thought it was going to be 70
Yeah.
and it's 50. But for the most part, like, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
right?
No,
You're
you
just-
deal with weather.
These
Yeah,
people
what are you
that
gonna
are
do?
just like,
Well,
that are
what are
just
you
like,
gonna
oh
do?
my God, get ready, and I'm going to this. It's like, okay, well, whatever. That's
I know. There's nothing we can do about it. If we get 6 inches or 12 inches dumped on us, it doesn't matter. Same shit. But yeah, when it affects everybody and everybody's traveling this week.
Yeah, I know.
When it affects so much of the country, it's worth a slight mention.
Oh no, I wasn't saying it to you. I was more talking about the people that get so like worked up about it. Like not to you. We're doing a show, and
A
talking
whole
about
segment
stuff,
of the
like,
news devoted to it.
I know, right?
It has its
And
own channel.
unless it's a big travel time, as
I
noted,
know.
it really doesn't matter, man. I mean,
What are you gonna do if it rains? Are you
Well,
like,
if you're in
what you gotta
someplace,
do.
you board up. If you're in Florida.
yeah?
If you're in Tornado
Those are
Alley.
real things, though. Those
Hurricane
are big
Alley or
things.
whatever.
Those are things, though, that would make it to regular news. It's the weather that, if you think about it, if weather is something that wouldn't make it to news, then what is the point of discussing it? Like,
Yeah. Well, I guess a heads up to the elderly.
yeah, well, the elderly, you're right.
Gotta look
They're-
out for the
they're all
elderly.
gonna die.
Speaking of elderly, I don't know how old this grandfather is. The one that chucked his granddaughter off the cruise through the open window.
Yeah. Wow.
He's doing interviews now. I don't know if that's a great idea. He sounds like a mess still.
Yeah.
Facing prison for the death of his toddler granddaughter.
Just dumped her right out.
Yeah, yeah, she's gonna bang on a glass. drops 150 feet to concrete deck below. And yeah, so he's saying that now that he did an interview with CBS News today and said that he's colorblind. So that did
saw that,
not
yeah.
help. Colorblind, would you need?
I mean, maybe.
I mean, it's better than not being colorblind, I suppose. All things being
have to
equal,
have
if you're
someone to
trying to say, like, I didn't see the window, wasn't in, or Salvatore Anello is his name. He's facing trial in Puerto Rico for the death of his 18-month-old granddaughter, Chloe Wiegand. And that was aboard the Royal Caribbean. They are pressing charges, and they're adamant about it, the Puerto Rican prosecutors and police, whatnot. Is that all about, weren't we thinking or hearing that was more about the cruise line? Like, they don't want to take responsibility, so if they can find that this guy's guilty, it takes blame away from Royal Caribbean.
Right,
like, it was his extreme negligence led to the death, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. I don't think in any way this dude intended for his fucking granddaughter to go tumbling out this window. I just don't. So he buckled into sobs and
Buckled?
wailed as he
was
said
it?
there was nothing prosecutors could do to him that would be more painful than his grief. I bet that's not true. I bet prosecutors could do something and put him in a jail cell in Puerto Rico for 30 years. That in the end he would go, yeah,
worse, yeah, that was
That
worse.
was even worse. I didn't think it was possible, and I really believe that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Puerto Rican prison for 30 years
30 years is a long time.
sucked.
Can you imagine that moment, though, just where the kid goes toppling out of your arms and you're just, oh, fuck.
It sounds like he was holding her with one arm, and because he wanted to bang on the glass too. That's what she liked to do at her brother's hockey game. And so he's like, I can't reach the glass. It must be further out. And so he keeps leaning further and further. And then I'm like, dude, stop talking. Just stop. This is
What
what
kind of
lawyers
perception
are
is
from.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have glass next to me with the other windows, but this one just seems farther.
Oh, one of those viewing windows.
He was leaning forward himself to try to tap the glass when she slipped. All I know is I was trying to reach the glass. We leaned over to try to have her reach the glass, and at that point, she slipped. I didn't realize there wasn't any glass until it absolutely was too late. Yeah, once gravity takes over, it's over.
It's a bitch.
Yeah. Even when she first fell, I thought she fell in front of me. It happened in seconds. At no point during the whole incident did I think she fell out. It was unbelievable. It's like the glass disappeared. He watched in horror and disbelief as she plummeted 150 feet to the concrete deck below. I saw her fall. I saw her fall the whole way down. I was just in disbelief. I was like, oh my God. I just remember screaming, I thought there was glass. So he's already working on his alibi. Like before
That's
she's
smart.
gone
That's smart.
splatter on the ground. Dude, if you dropped a loved one like that, I don't think I'd be able to watch it all the way down. Like, you know what the end game is,
Well,
right?
that's not.
None of the outcome is good.
I don't
I think
think
it would
you
be
could say how
slow
you would
motion, and I
react,
feel
yeah.
like it would feel so surreal. I don't think he's really like saying probably like.
I saw her fall. I saw her fall the
I know.
whole way down.
I know,
was
but
just
I
in
could
disbelief.
He's not watching it though. Like, oh my God, like
He's
watching.
not watching it like, fucking sweet, man. Get the popcorn. He's going, oh my God. And he's looking down just. Oh,
Probably frozen,
It
possibly.
takes
Like,
a second and a half. It's not
Yeah,
like
but-
we're sitting back and, let's watch this happen.
He's watching her fall the whole way down,
Jesus.
and then he
How long does
says,
it take?
what's up?
How long does
Oh,
it take
second-
to fall
dude,
150
right.
feet?
And plus, like he could be like I think he could be frozen in reality. Like,
No,
like
he
you
wasn't, though. He was very aware of his surroundings. I thought there was glass, is what he screamed.
Yeah, but that
Not,
was after.
oh
the,
my God, my granddaughter.
That was after a
He
few
was already
seconds.
laying the groundwork. He was laying the groundwork for his alibi. I thought there was glass. That's what his concern was. He insisted he would have never put her in harm's way, not knowing that there wasn't glass there. If I thought she was going beyond the glass, I wouldn't have done it. I would have been appalled. He then added, once the trial was over, he would need help. He's going to need some help, and I bet he will. Chloe's mom has asked the Puerto Rican authorities to drop the case. They are adamant that he acted recklessly. Alan and Kimberly Weigand have been steadfast in their support for the grandfather, instead blaming and threatening to sue Royal Caribbean for inexplicably leaving a window open in a family play area. That does seem bad. Puerto Rican authorities say they plan to use a handful of eyewitnesses. They've got closed circuit. They've got a couple different camera angles of the whole thing of her going overboard to prove his guilt. An attorney representing Chloe's parents says, yeah, this video, we don't want this out in the public, but They did let Daily Mail watch it. And so for the story, they said, it begins with Chloe leading her grandfather away from the pool area to the adjacent bank of glass floor-to-ceiling windows. So, I mean, she did drag him over there. It's not like he dragged her over there, for starters. He can be seen lifting Chloe up to give her a better view. 3 to 4 seconds later, she vanishes through what is the only visibly open window in the entire bank of glass. He looks down towards the dock below, then slumps to his knees as staff and passengers crowd around him to help. Her older brother is the next family member to arrive, and then Mom shows up shortly thereafter to gaze down. Oh. No! And then collapses, and you can imagine what that would be like. And then the video ends with him being led away by a couple staff members, and he was interviewed shortly thereafter.
So awful.
I don't think, honestly, I don't believe at all that he was, was trying to hurt his granddaughter.
Yeah, but that's not the charge. The charge is he was negligent.
To jail time, though? I mean, they're talking about prison time.
If you're grossly negligent, it leads to the death of your granddaughter.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's one of those hot Carl deaths, where it's like, seriously, he's probably right. What are you going to do to him that he's already kicking his own ass like a lot?
Did they check his Google history?
Yeah.
How far does a kid have to fall?
Yeah, was he sitting there with a tape measure the day before? Yep, 150 feet.
He was measuring out the
That'll
windows.
do it.
Very odd.
Hey, our friend Mark Leibovitz wants to ask you, do you need an annuity rescue? If you purchased an annuity 5 or more years ago, you're probably paying way too high of fees. There are better, lower fee options now. If you have an annuity you want reviewed, call Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial and see if he can save you thousands of dollars in fees. Call 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark. Jesus?
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
We haven't heard much from T.I. ever since he talked about his daughter's hymen being in check. Still intact, I believe. It was her 18th birthday recently, and that's when he was like, yeah, take her to the fucking gyno every year on her birthday, and blah, 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 blah. And I didn't know what his play was. He just kind of went into the background. He should be ashamed of himself because of the backlash he took from people, like this private, intimate thing between a gynecologist and this guy's daughter.
That, and isn't that a totally archaic view that, the hymen will remain intact? Like,
Yeah.
It just naturally breaks in certain instances, right?
But whoredom can break it too. If you're practicing whoredom, being a whore around town,
yeah.
that can break it too.
That is sure to break it.
Yes.
But I'm
a
saying
bicycle can.
non-whoredom.
Well, the doctor, if you remember, the doctor said, it could be from bike riding or horseback riding, and he said she ain't riding no horse, she ain't riding on a bike or some
She
shit.
ain't
Right?
into no sports.
Yeah. His response was, she ain't do any of that shit.
Yeah, she ain't riding no horses. She ain't bending no nothing.
Okay, then.
So, give me the update, Doc. Well, he's taken incredible backlash for this. Overbearing, controlling man dealing with
I think he
women
should
issues.
be ashamed of himself. I think he should go into the background.
So he's remained quiet out of respect for his 18-year-old daughter, which is Deja. Is her name D-E-Y?
Deja.
J-A-H.
Deja I.
Hell yes.
I mean, doesn't that just scream future in porn or in, at a strip club somewhere? Perhaps the Deja Vu would be good for Deja. But now he and his wife, Tiny, T-I-N, Tiny. Yeah.
What the hell is going on in that house?
I don't know. They're speaking publicly for the first time about it. The scandal he jokingly calls Hymen-gate. Sitting down with Jada Pinkett Smith and her mother, Adrienne. Boy, that sounds like a blast of a show, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah, she's been doing it, right? There's all these headlines like every other day about what Jada Pinkett Smith has disclosed about her sex life.
Ooh.
So, yeah, she's been doing this show.
It's called Red Table Talk. It's on Facebook Watch.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, I'm assuming it's on Facebook, but
Facebook.
I've never.
It's basically just like a Facebook Live thing.
Facebook Watch. I've never even
it's a
seen
different
anything for
version.
that. Is that?
No, it's just like I said, it's just like a more professional version of Facebook Live, essentially.
Huh. So T.I. is referring to the podcast he did with those other girls. Said it was done in a very joking manner. I just began to embellish and exaggerate, which is relatable. That happens on shows. You're trying to be interesting or funny, and
Especially on
tend
reality
to spice
shows,
up
for sure.
Yeah, that I don't think that's out of the norm. And I think a lot of people kind of took it extremely literal because if you put any of my reputation, like who I am as a father, who I've been, I honestly thought people knew me better than that. Jada asks if he understands the sensitivity of the subject he was discussing. He replies, I didn't at the time, but I do now. He's learned a lot about this. He says, but he blames the public for misunderstanding him. My intentions, I think, have been terribly misconstrued. Let me set the record straight. I never said I was in any exam room. This is an assumption. But nobody assumed that he was. The criticism wasn't about that.
That wasn't.
Nobody was like, oh, is he in there with a stethoscope looking at her
No,
machine
I don't
and
think
shit?
anyone even thought. Even when we talked about that right when it had happened,
Right.
that's not what we thought. It sounded like he was in the waiting room. Then the doctor came out, and then he was like,
What do we got,
Well,
Doc?
what we got,
News.
Doc? "What about that hymen?"
I never said it was being done present day as an 18-year-old, he says. T.I. did speak about the annual gynecologists in the present tense, indicating they were still happening. Can be heard quite clearly in the audio recording saying, as of her 18th birthday, her hymen is still intact. I mean, he absolutely said that. I remember that.
Yeah, that was a quote.
He says that Deja never minded that her parents both came to the appointments, but she did have a problem with her dad talking about it publicly. Yeah, I imagine she would. I imagine most
It's a little
girls would.
weird.
Yeah. And I understand that. I'm incredibly apologetic to her for that. But to her, not other fucking nut job people that are making comments. He then shifts the conversation, arguing that society doesn't want him to be involved in his daughter's life. Where are you going here, T.I.?
Oh boy, yeah, that's exactly what they were.
I want to
saying.
know, what is the purpose and place of a father in this society?
What a solid move.
Because a father like myself, who wants to be as involved and as attentive as possible, we could draw the conclusion of we just donate sperm and come pay for things, and we don't have no say in how things are handled.
That's not what people were saying or questioning about the situation.
No, Jada and her mom were like, no. It's really all about the hymen thing.
Don't like
It's just
he
a hymen.
backs it up with that, trying to almost just be like, look, I'm just such a good father that blah blah blah.
I gotta say though, in a more conservative way, I understand where he's coming from in a sense when he's talking about, people who heard the interview saw him trying to control his daughter and her sexuality and blah blah blah. And he says the word control is in order to guide or direct, you must have a certain level of control. I think that in the age or the time where black women are the most unprotected, unattended, disregarded women on the planet, I'm being criticized because I'm willing to go above and beyond to protect mine. And I'm talking about all of the little slimy, grimy, chubby-fingered little boys who want to come and defile and destroy the sanctity that I have.
How old is this girl again?
18.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm going to the doctor with you just for the sake of controlling you, then okay. But if I'm going for the purpose of being a protective parent, I'm here to protect all of the children from themselves until they make it to a point where they have awareness or a sense of self or discernment to be able to make certain decisions on their
means well.
own that will impact their lives indefinitely. Since she turned 18, I don't have control of anything. I trust and believe that I put moral standards, principles, and greatness in all of my children. But until they learn how to unlock it and use the powers for themselves, it has to be harnessed.
He means well.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. Your childhood ends when you lose your virginity. And I can't let you run around trying to enjoy the luxuries of adulthood without any of the responsibilities of adulthood. Fair? I kind of made the comparison of a son versus a daughter. If my son goes out and gets a girl pregnant, how is the household changed for those 9 months? The household does not necessarily change those 9 months. Whereas if my daughter come home, my household is changed immediately. The stakes are higher. Yeah. So I do think he means well.
Yeah.
Don't you get the
little
sense?
extreme.
Well, it just depends on who helped him
Plus-
say whatever he just said to me. Like,
Plus-
I mean,
well-
did
You
someone
don't
write
think
that?
that's true?
I'm just saying. You say, you heard that and say you think he means well. To me, he also just experienced about a month of people just destroying him. So
True.
he might have had someone write
Yeah.
him out a thing that because like when he originally did that, he said he had this whole thing of. The doctor saying, "Oh, we can't give that information. Oh, you get over here. Make sure you sign this thing saying we can."
Yeah, he turned to her as if, do you give permission? She's like, yeah, sure.
I don't know. I'm being a little more cynical, I guess.
I don't know Mr. I, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
I've heard a lot of his songs, and I wouldn't have expected that attitude about strict parenting rules and whatnot.
And
Lyrics.
not wanting to
Yeah.
bang anything that moves or things
Do
like
you
that.
think there's an element at play because there has to be a little bit higher tick mark on the old, team photo, or if you're trying to knock numbers out to banging T.I.'s daughter?
Of course.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? There's some prestige
She's a target.
there.
She's a target.
Eminem's daughter would go through that. It's like, hell yeah, bag T.I.'s daughter.
Right.
Yes.
For sure.
And she's hot.
Yeah.
She's like model
whammy.
hot. Yeah. So it's like he knows that
I
there are
totally-
slimy, grimy, chubby-fingered fucking dudes around that are like, I'm gonna bang T.I.'s daughter just because I can.
Right.
So,
I agree with you on that. Dude, I really do agree with that. I understand. I just don't.
You just don't believe
I
Mr.
just don't,
I.
I just don't necessarily believe that that's fully like really what's happening. But I do understand it.
Well, Mr. I explained it rather
well,
well.
we
I
think
thought
Succinctly.
succinctly.
Again, yeah. He
I
read
mean, is there
something or-
anything in his character, in his past, or your run-ins with him before that makes you not want to extend the benefit of the doubt to Mr. I? I mean,
I don't even know his music that well to say. So I'm sure he's fine.
yeah. Well, I mean, as a person.
No, you're right. I do
Because
not
that's
have
his
any
art. He could be saying horrific shit on that. I say horrific shit on this. But
I'm willing to accept his explanation.
yeah.
Okay.
I think he's a well-meaning father who's trying his bestest.
It's a tough world out
Yeah.
there.
A lot of those guys didn't grow up in stable
No, I
homes, and it's
know.
like,
I know.
here they are with an opportunity to right that wrong. My kid's never going to go through what I went through. I have the means, and they're over.
I know what
What's
you're
the
saying.
best for his daughter?
I know. I agree.
He doesn't want dicks in his daughter. Is that so much to ask for, E?
No,
Your dad
it's-
wasn't dying to have dicks in his daughter.
I understand for sure.
Mr. I just doesn't want a bunch of random dicks in his daughter.
I think you're right. How everything that he worded there, I agree with.
Yeah. All right, you want to do, what do we got? Twin Peaks 30-second
Twin Peaks
commercial?
30.
I'm going to put it in here. E, don't let me forget it. Excellent. Good
That was
job, E.
painful for him.
Didn't even look at his phone. Was he just staring at you?
I already knew that. I didn't
He's like,
have
dead
anything,
puppies,
so-
dead puppies, dead puppies.
I know.
We've heard plenty about people being mauled to death by dogs.
Dude.
Bears.
Dude.
Tigers. Feral hogs.
Feral hogs.
Feral hogs. I don't want to be eaten by
The
feral
notion
hogs.
of being eaten by any animal, that's why I'm so fearful of shark attacks.
Yeah.
It's partly this thing from the deep coming up when you have
Yeah.
no idea it's there and it attacks you. That's a part of it. The other part of it is being eaten by another thing. Really bothers
To
me.
death.
The feral hog. Oh
Seems
man.
like a shark has a big, wide mouth. It could cut
Dude,
you in
feral
half.
hogs are vicious.
Oh
You ever-
yeah, but they've got smaller mouths.
Not,
It
yeah,
seems like
bring
it'd take
10
a
of them
while.
in there. Bring 10 of them in.
Yeah.
Take an unsuspecting overweight woman down on the ground and
Yeah. If I had to be eaten by feral hogs, I think I'd want it plural hogs instead of hog.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
get in there, boys. Get
Just
it
get
done.
it done. Get it done.
Texas woman worked as a caregiver, was found dead outside of the home of the elderly couple she looked after. She was attacked and killed by wild hogs. Ugh.
How long did the elderly couple allow her to lay on their driveway before they discovered her body? Does it say in there?
Probably out. It was like, why? What happened to Christine? She was supposed to be here this morning, and I didn't get my grits.
Yeah.
I wanted breakfast.
Walk out the door.
Finally walk out the door, and there's Mrs. Rawlings. Ms. Rawlins, Christine, discovered with, quote, animal-related injuries.
My God.
Animal-related injuries outside the home. That's not good. That's just not good. This is in Texas. On Monday, Sheriff Brian Hawthorne announced the autopsy results showed the cause of death was exsanguination due to feral hog assault.
She bled out.
Is that what that means?
Yeah. Bleeding out due to a feral hog assault.
Boy,
How does
oh
that
boy.
happen? They just
be the
like
worst.
approach you like a gang? And you're just like, hogs, nice little piggies. Come on, please.
When the medical examiner types in cause of death,
Exsanguination.
exsanguination due to feral hog assault is probably so rarely typed.
Yeah, that's not like an
there.
autofill, you know?
Right. You know,
Starts to type exsanguination. Okay, that pops in. Due to, okay, we're good. Feral stops there.
yeah,
Feral.
stop right there. Feral hog.
The action of draining a person, animal, or organ of blood.
Oh my God, it's vampiric. Holy shit. I guess that.
It's
don't
not
they
vampiric. It just bled out.
Yeah.
I mean, she
well,
just.
don't they drain all your fluids like blood and stuff anyway? So that she should at least get a discount on the
True.
on the prep. You know, if they're going to lay her out in the hall. or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
For viewing. I mean, saving a
I'm
lot
sure
of time
she's
and
in
money.
good condition for viewing.
Well, you know, I don't know what the hogs did.
Pieces taken out. Ah.
They're like, in
Imagine
fairness,
that
you eat us
funeral,
too,
man.
dick lickers.
That funeral, like, it's just. We all just, it's weird how we naively go through our life thinking that you have this hope that you're going to die maybe in at least a nice way in the hospital bed or
Yep.
what.
Surrounded
and
by family and friends.
Right. And she, like they're at the funeral and they all know that she died via
Fucking hogs.
I
know.
hog eating, and then she just bled out, and it's just like
No, it's like the guy that crushed his wife to death when he fucking had a heart attack in
yeah.
the hot tub,
Right.
Day before his daughter's wedding.
Remember
It's like it's over. It's the
Yeah.
couple can't get married, and you know what? The funeral, I'd want to be at that funeral, but what is the discussion?
right.
You know, oh yeah, he was doing what he loved. You know, he was out, he was hiking the trails, and
Yeah, he
you
had
know,
the
just
heart
went out.
attack, right? And he just like kind of
And he was
fell upon
huge.
her.
Yeah, he was
Right.
huge.
Remember the
And then so he drowned her
yeah.
by laying on top of her.
do you remember the old what was it, like a sisters or couple or something that
Yes, in the driveway.
driveway?
That was years
Remember
ago.
they tripped and
Yes.
fell on the
Oh,
driveway and ice.
twins,
fed.
right?
Twins.
Died out, yeah.
Yes, twins.
One of them tried to help the other.
Yeah, big mistake. Gertrude cannot help Edith in that situation at all. You
so
got to let her
bad, but
go.
it's-
And then they just died
Yeah.
like 8 feet from each
They
other
did.
because they couldn't get back up.
Edith, are you still there?
I am.
Nobody
How?
else around.
Boy,
just
we're
this-
in a real pickle.
Just this faint cry for help.
Oh, my hip.
I never thought I'd go out this way. I thought we would
Well,
be
I'm
holding hands.
86 years old. What do you want with me?
Oh, I pictured my grandchildren reading passages out of my favorite Bible stories.
I screamed, but nobody heard
Light
me.
candles, maybe some dim lights and soft music as angels sang to me in the background.
No.
Not on my driveway, iced over, with Gertrude 8 feet away, worthless, by the way, zero help.
She had her last moments were like closing her eyes at one point and falling asleep in her driveway.
Yeah,
and just like
frostbit like a motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah,
Terrible.
No, it's too bad, and this one is one of those
the
too. Where it's
funeral,
like, you know, kids that went to high school with old Christine Rollins are gonna be there, and be like, oh yeah, I remember she was on the crew team back in high school. Yeah, it was a good girl. And, Back in Feral Hogs, huh? Wow.
Feral hogs.
Wow.
feral hogs.
Yeah, it's kind of top of mind, isn't it? Whole
Yeah,
time.
the whole time.
hard
You'd be
time,
like,
hard one to ignore.
and I know they decided to go closed casket. I respect it, but boy, I wouldn't mind popping a look in there, just a quick look,
Yeah, none of that like
to see what a feral hog does. is
none of that she
capable of.
died in peace or people like, well, she was
No.
really right like
No,
What
she
an
was
awful,
ready for a
excruciating
while.
death, man.
Ugh.
It's just awful.
Yeah, Trebek has made peace. You know, Alex Trebek, he's been going through his thing. He's made peace with it. For Christine Rollins, there's no making peace with.
We never know, do we, gentlemen? We never know.
So, yeah, my detectives and the criminal investigation team felt like feral hogs was what it was, but we couldn't come close to announcing until we had the cause of death from the medical examiner.
All right, let's be really sure of this before we say this. This sounds extreme.
I don't want to go into detail. See, Sheriff, this is where I need you to go into some detail.
No, just by him saying that, that's
Yeah,
enough. It's
it
like,
says
oh
a
my
lot,
God,
doesn't
they
it?
ate her face. They ate her face.
I don't want to go into detail, but in my 35 years, I will tell you it's one of the worst things I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
they ate her face.
Yeah,
my
and that's a sheriff in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay? In my 35 years, it's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Rollins was on the property. It spanned 10 to 12 acres. The feral hogs had taken over some of their family land and just like moved in and scooped up a spot of land. On Sunday, she was supposed to look after the couple at their home. When she failed to show up, the 84-year-old homeowner went outside and found her laying in the yard between her car and the front door. Officials arrived, found her dead as shit. She had a head injury, believed to be from the fall, and then she had numerous injuries that appeared to be animal-related.
Wow.
It looked like she got out of her car, locked it, and she was making her way to the front door when these animals came along. Rollins was attacked by multiple hogs as determined by the size of the bites on her body. So they had like the big hogs and then the medium hogs.
no.
So what do you do?
Baby
Put out a
nibble,
hunting
nibble
party?
hog.
I mean, you got to stop these man-eating hogs,
Well, fuck with them.
right? They did that in Jaws. They went out and they tried to catch the man-eating shark.
Yeah.
Caught every shark except the one.
I think they have a bit of a problem with feral hogs in Texas.
I was gonna say that's probably pretty common, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like in reality, we're hearing this, but I bet there's Texas, place like that. I bet there's deaths of this nature.
No.
You don't think so?
Eaten by hogs?
No.
I don't
I
know.
mean, people are fed to hogs, sure, because they'll eat bone too, right? Isn't that what it is? They'll get rid of all
very
the evidence.
efficient, yeah.
Yeah, very efficient eaters.
Yeah, I think there was a famous serial killer in Australia. That was his deal.
That was his deal.
He'd kill him and feed him the hogs.
Yeah. Oof. A bad move if you got a bunch of hogs. But Yeah, that's a bummer way to go. That's one of the biggest bummer ways to go. And they're saying, if you see a pack of hogs, stay away from them. Well, no shit. Do you think she was trying to pet him, get a little coochie coo under the chin? No. They just went after her.
Yeah.
How do I tell if these are the ones or not, though? Some hogs might be nice.
Well, if they're feral, they're feral.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How do I tell?
The ones that eat you.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the ones
Well,
to
that's
be avoided.
too late then.
Well, just avoid them all at this point, Ian.
Gotcha.
And they're like, fuck you, dick licker. You eat us too.
Right.
Which is true, in a sense. Donald Trump signed the first animal cruelty bill of his presidency yesterday. Was very glad to see this. I fucking despise these assholes and their animal cruelty. So this is outlawing narrow types of egregious violence usually committed for the purpose of videotaping it.
God, man.
The fuck? For sexual gratification. I didn't even know this was a thing. So the Senate unanimously passed Preventing Animal Cruelty and Torture Act this month after a similar House vote in October. It applies to non-human mammals, birds, reptiles, and amphibians. And this builds on a law that Obama signed in 2010 that criminalized the distribution of so-called crush videos. You heard of crush video? We've heard of snuff videos.
I
Right?
can guess what they are based on what you just said. That's really gross, man.
They've also outlawed the production of the films. Typically consists of filming a small animal being killed by stomping on it.
It's insane.
What kind of fucking monster are you? But the new law expands the definition to include animals that are purposely crushed, burned, drowned, suffocated, impaled, or otherwise subject to serious bodily injury. Who are the human beings that can take a puppy or a kitten? Fuck me, man. I want them so locked up. They're worse than murderers to me. Typically, so Trump said the bill would stop people from sharing footage of animal cruelty. It's very important that we combat these heinous and sadistic acts of cruelty. The new law carves out a broad variety of activity for exemptions, including slaughtering livestock. So you can still do that if you enjoy doing that. Hunting, trapping, fishing, medical or scientific research, obviously. Customary and normal vet stuff is in there, is a loophole. Predator control and pest control, so you're not going to get arrested if you fucking stomp out an ant farm on your property. Anything necessary to protect the life or property of a person or done as part of euthanizing an animal is also exempt.
It's one of those real, like, no-brainers, right? Low-hanging fruit. Like, who could object to this?
Right.
No, I was just about to ask what the real question is. How is this racist? Somehow. It's got to be somehow. There's got to be, like, a reason why it's still not a good thing or something.
Well, if you're wondering where the douche factor is, we'll allow the president to hand it to you.
Okay.
Because he then said,
Oh, here we go.
he asked rhetorically, why hasn't this happened a long time ago? Because Trump wasn't president. As if there were just people standing going, fuck that, dude. I want to crush kittens.
Yeah.
And douchebag, you're expanding on a fucking law that President Obama signed in. Why wasn't this done a long time ago? Because Trump wasn't president.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
Democratic Representative Ted Deutsch of Florida said the animal cruelty is no longer just unacceptable, it's now illegal. We can now finally say that animal abuse is a federal crime in the United States. So prosecutors have brought cases against producers of crush videos. One woman filmed herself torturing and maiming small animals for viewers' sexual gratification. She pled guilty to federal charges in 2015. Ashley Richards is her name.
My God.
She could be seen stabbing helpless animals, including a puppy, a kitten, and a chicken. She would sometimes chop off their limbs, take whizzes on them while making sexual comments to the camera.
Now I got you.
So she's in custody in Texas, serving a 10-year animal cruelty. Fucking throw the key away. How do you fix that? You know what I mean?
No. We don't want to shame anybody. We don't want to put anybody on the spot.
I do.
If it looks funny, we go over and say,
You know, you doing the Trump voice reminded me that I did watch Saturday Night Live this weekend, actually, because Will Ferrell hosted.
Oh, is he real?
Oh,
Yeah, and
didn't
for one,
see it.
I was not very impressed. I saw a lot of people thinking they liked it. I didn't think it was that good, personally. But, like, the opening scene was, of course, what's it, Alec Baldwin doing a Trump, and he was getting onto the helicopter and
Oh, yeah, I
not
saw that.
answering questions. I just thought it was, like, long And
They're all
I
long.
just didn't think it was that funny to me. Like, and I understand that Trump can be it's easy to make fun of Trump, but it wasn't like humorous to me. I know I'm not new to this. Probably, I'm sure this is how they've probably been.
The cold open is what that opening skit is
Yeah.
known as.
Oh, I know.
And the cold open has turned into just a vicious, nasty attack sketch piece.
Right, like it's not.
They're not even trying to be funny. It's like put them in good makeup and make them sound like the biggest assholes on planet Earth.
Yeah, you're right. He was just doing this thing where he was like having a press conference about the impeachment, and he was like, "Once again, there's been nothing, nothing proven me wrong." And the questions from the reporters are just basically like what you would expect a left wing, like a CNN person, just to say to Donald Trump.
Right.
Like they're not
Yeah,
even in
of
a
course.
humorous spin. Anyway, I don't know. You should. I'll be interested if you watch
I'll
it.
check it out. Yeah, I
because
didn't.
I
haven't
didn't
seen
like it
yet.
that much. I got through to the. I'll be honest. I got to the news, the weekend update, and I didn't watch past the weekend update. I just did not think, and I was excited. I thought, you know what? I haven't liked Will Ferrell's movies as much lately, but he's back on SNL and his Element, and it's it's sketches. This should be funny, and
I
I
make you his bitch's bitch.
right, yeah, right.
My grand bitch.
So maybe, like I said, maybe if someone
He's the king.
I am
You the king? How much money are you gonna make today?
enough to choke a baby.
That's right. Whose tits are these?
To my tits.
These are the king's
The
tits.
king's titties.
That's right. These are the king's dick.
It's slightly above average.
Yeah? You gotta stake your claim. You gotta stake it.
Take my claim.
like I said, maybe someone will who watched it will tell me oh, after weekend update, it just got fucking great. But
They need to do more Elizabeth Warren if they're going to do political stuff. 'cause
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon's awesome.
She
and
is.
Liz Warren is just made to be parodied.
they didn't do
Dumb
enough of her.
voice.
Yes.
They did a debate, and I thought they did way too much of a few
She ought
other
to be the
people that were.
focus,
Yeah,
man.
I
'Cause
agree.
Kate McKinnon's the best one,
By far.
and Liz Warren is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's just a lot there.
They do focus on her. She's in almost all sketches.
Okay, well, the one I
But
watched,
dude, her Rudy Giuliani,
Yeah.
is fucking fantastic.
And then the economic advisor she does. Oh fuck, what's his name? I'm not going to think of it if that didn't jump out at you. I forget his name. He's just this creepy little guy, sort of like Giuliani, but
Yeah.
shoot, I'm
she
gonna try to find
she
his
does
name.
so many of those creepy old white guys.
Yeah.
Really fucking well.
You know who showed up randomly too? He ended up doing Giuliani. Actually, it's Fred something. I can't think of his fucking last name.
Savage.
No. The guy.
Durst?
No. No, the guy.
Rogers.
I saw the movie Fred Rogers over the weekend.
Wilbur
no, Fred,
Ross, Commerce
yeah,
Secretary.
yeah,
You've seen
yeah.
her do that. He's just so creepy.
Does he have the
man.
glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, Fred. Armistead.
Yeah, Fred Armisen. Sure.
I'm shocked.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm shocked that he was in 2 sketches in the end. And all I could think about is how has he escaped? That there is so many rumors out there of him just being an absolute creep.
Yeah.
And in interviews, him saying, "I've never been faithful to any girl I've ever been with. This and not that matters necessarily, but it's just funny to me that he has not had
not
any,
a big enough name. He's a big enough name.
I mean, he had his own show on IFC that Portlandia went
yeah,
a
it
few
was-
years,
that was big.
and he's the drummer in what's his name's band, isn't he? The late late show. Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
Yeah. When he's not doing.
He still is.
Oh, I think he is unless he's not doing bits, and unless he's not
Yeah, yeah.
taping, I think
Yeah.
he shows up. And it's weird that he's never had anything
He's on a
affected
big
by
show
that.
right now. He's on like an NBC show or
Is
something
he?
like a sitcom.
Really?
A big one.
Huh?
Yeah, he's so far left leaning that it probably excuses.
Gotcha. Then it's okay.
It's okay to sexually harass women if you hate Trump. I think that's what the rule is.
Yeah.
You can sexually harass. I
That's
believe that's what it is. As long as you hate
must be.
Trump.
Yeah.
And you hate old white guys, I think you can sexually harass.
Gotcha.
So Fred is fine. I mean, no one's going to attack Fred Armisen. I mean, he's a liberal lion.
Right.
No
I
matter
don't care.
how shitty he treats women for
Right.
decades.
I love
Spares.
him on shows, but what's he?
Yeah, he's funny.
Speaking of TV, have you guys watched The Mandalorian?
No.
No, because it's
Disney
on
Plus.
Disney, right?
Yeah.
Do you have that?
Russell has it somehow. I'm not going to ask questions.
All right.
He says everybody has it. Yeah, everybody has it.
Can Russell help
go
run it
ahead.
out?
Go ahead and Chromecast that sucker, Russell. And
How was it?
It's pretty good.
Is it a season or just a movie?
It's a season. Yeah, I think they've released 3 at this point, and you haven't seen anything about it. I'm surprised you
No,
haven't because
because I don't have Disney Plus, and I'm not
but
going to buy it.
There's
so
been
I'm
a lot of talk about one certain aspect of it. I won't spoil it, but there's kind of a. Some people are worried they're going Ewok, just based on a cutesy little thing that happened.
Oh, are you talking about freaking Baby Yoda?
Yeah, I'm talking about Baby
I
Yoda.
saw,
He's cute. I love him. I want him.
Really?
Oh my
Is he
gosh.
better than those little Chechen things they had
Yeah, the
last year?
pork. Oh, the porks.
Love the porks with their eyes.
He's such a
Oh.
cute.
I saw
But
a
this
story
isn't
about
actually,
Baby Yoda.
This
I didn't
isn't
know what it
actually
was.
Yoda. It's just his species. So I'll spoil it a little bit. The dude is caused to go out looking for a certain.
Ah!
He's a bounty hunter, right?
Ah, look at that.
The
baby.
Mandalorian's a bounty hunter, and he's going after a certain.
Boba
catch.
Fett?
He's not Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Boba Fett
Right.
is famous for wearing Mandalorian armor. He wasn't a Mandalorian himself, but they go into what a Mandalorian is and all this stuff. And that's the part where I'm just kind of like, it's kind of geared toward 13-year-old boys, just like
I
the
call
whole
it
series.
People DeLorean, by the way.
Oh,
I don't
really?
like to say Mandalorian.
People DeLorean. But yeah, then they get into the Baby Yoda thing, and it's sort of like, all right. You just got to remember, it's
Disney.
Disney, and just as the original Star Wars stuff, it's geared toward young boys, really.
Right.
In reality, it's 12, 13, 14-year-old boys.
Or girls that identify as boys, whatever
Sure.
the case may be.
So you can't, as an adult, go, "Oh, that's dumb, that's cheesy, it is what it is."
Always had that element.
Yeah.
Was always in the Star Wars franchise.
There's
Always
some cool
was.
stuff, but there's some cheesy parts.
Can Russell help a brother out?
Apparently, it's free for everybody.
Well,
I'm told.
I
Well,
was
you get to share a certain amount of devices.
Yeah,
and
that's
how
it. He's got a buddy who shared his.
Yeah, I was that buddy. I was very, very friendly with my HBO Goes, and Netflix. If someone wants to help a brother out,
I'll ask him if he can. Yeah.
if Russ, so help me, if Russell denies me,
I mean, if he can, he.
What if
he
Russell
will.
denies me?
He won't.
okay, good. Or I'll fucking call and report him. Call Disney Plus. I need Disney Plus bosses immediately.
I know a kid.
I know a kid. He's watching People DeLorean every day, and he's not opposed to. He didn't pay. I want him arrested. Fullest extent of the law.
No, there's some pretty cool scenes in it, though. It's worth watching.
The Super Bowl still a couple months away.
Is it really? Yeah. February.
LIV. I don't like. I need the X's in there, man.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
10 X XXX Super Bowl 30.
Do you have the date of it
LIV,
actually there? Is it?
Feb 2?
Okay, so it's squarely in February now. It used to be
Yeah.
late January, and
Yep.
we're going February.
Oh, it's always like first week in February now.
Okay.
So I'm assuming L means 50.
Yeah,
Okay, and then IV would be 4.
right.
V is 5. I before it means it's 4. Did you know that, E?
I did.
Okay. Still over 2 months away. Fox Sports has announced now it is completely sold out of its advertising inventory for the game in Miami.
That does not surprise me at all. Does it
7
surprise you?
This early? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But why? I mean, you know
Well,
it's coming. You know it's going to be
sell
enormous.
out. Because they're usually, don't they usually, like right up to the week of, you can still get,
I would think
I've
you'd be able to
never
buy
known.
for next year too. I mean,
Yeah.
shit, man.
well, 77 national.
Is there any more
spots.
sure thing than the Super Bowl?
No. And
Yeah.
it's a good one too, because people want to watch it live. So, and they want to watch the commercials. It doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand the people that put on the stupid, like, basic commercial that we've seen 100 times. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Put on the basic. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
like if you've got Bud Light and they've got
Yes,
their
gotcha.
new Super Bowl ad, but then they've got like 3 that we've already seen. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
All eyes on you right now, bro. What are we doing? So, new record. It's a new record every year for the price. 30-second spots, 5.6 million. Some discounts were given for buying in bulk. All but one ad sold for over 5 million. I've never seen anything like this. Seth Winter, executive VP for sports sales at Fox Sports, said it marks the earliest the game's ad inventory has been completely sold out in years. After buying ad time from Fox Sports in Game 7 of the World Series, President Trump's re-election campaign has agreed to buy a Super Bowl ad. Sale marks the first time in recent memory that a political campaign has bought ad time during the Super Bowl. Currently, Fox only has pre- and post-game spots available. That's where we have inventory. They've also sold out their advertising allotment for the NFC Championship game as well. That's gone. According to Winter, the Super Bowl ad spending spree was a result of the good economy. Well, I thought the Dems said the economy stinks and Trump's the fault for that. This guy's going, oh, first and foremost, the economy is strong. It starts and stops right there. If the economy weren't cooperating, it would be an entirely different story. So is that kind of sideways giving Trump a little credit in a way? I mean, he's the commander in chief.
Nah, yeah,
He is our king for these 4 years at least.
Exactly. He's the king. Man, all these people getting fired because they're not white males. CBS executive claims he started Survivor. And I want to see a picture of him because he's developed a series of hit shows, a lot of them, Survivor being one. He's suing the network, claiming he's being fired because of his age and also his Japanese heritage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Do people fire people for their Japanese heritage? I mean, is that like my grandpa maybe would have, but anyone today? Gen Maynard is 53, suing CBS Corp and CBS Studios.
I always thought Burnett was behind all those shows, but maybe this guy was a part of it.
Maybe that's why he's getting fired for lying all the fucking time, taking credit for shit he didn't do.
There you go.
Because you're absolutely right.
Mark Burnett? Mark yeah.
Burnett, yeah. But this guy could have been in the boardroom
Sure.
with him and tossing ideas. Yeah, let's have him fucking, start their own fires and whatever else. Kill pigs.
The tribe has spoken.
So he's being pushed out of his job unfairly. Jay, you're familiar with this type of law. Let's see what he's got here. He claims he was unceremoniously told October 2nd that his department and role were being eliminated by the company, despite him contributing to shows which made well over $1 billion for him. Maynard alleges that it is part of a systemic effort by CBS to get rid of old execs, and in part because he's Japanese. He's really leaning on that Japanese thing. Do you have a picture of this guy?
Is he reaching for the whole
Yes.
Japanese thing?
I mean,
Are we really going to challenge his Japanese heritage?
if I didn't tell you Japanese heritage
Yeah,
existed,
I would have felt like he was maybe Hispanic or something.
yeah. If I said, "What is that, gentleman?" Would you? How long before you went? I don't know. Is there some Japanese heritage going on there?
Right.
It'd be a while, right?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
What's his last name?
Maynard.
No, it would have taken me a long time to get to Japanese. Yeah.
Mr. Maynard here, as you can see, is what? I'd go, I don't know, 50-plus-year-old white male.
Would you say white male? I wouldn't say white male.
No, God.
Tan male?
I mean, I would go to what Jay was saying. I would go
said
like
he's
Latino or something.
He's
Not
a
white,
white
though.
male. He's a lightly colored Hispanic descent.
Doesn't matter.
Perhaps.
The decision makers knew he was Japanese.
Yeah,
and they
the
hold animus
Cuban
against.
descent.
Yeah, they're not looking
Yeah,
at
Cuban,
images.
sure.
They know it is a background.
Yeah, they know.
So he says he is not. He is the only non-white exec at CBS with his level of decision-making authority. He says he's been treated frostily by new leadership at CBS since Les Moonves was blown out because he was getting all grabby and handsy with chicks.
I remember that.
He described a culture where he was disinvited to meetings, where the only other minority senior executive, Angelica McDaniel, also been fired for no reason. That's what he says.
This so reminds me of lawsuits I've seen, and you're just like, no, they just didn't like you, dude.
Yeah.
Just your personality sucks.
Well,
They wanted to move on. They eliminated your position.
Well, your boss is gone, so some new comes in.
Yeah.
They
And
want
you
their
see
own.
that
Guy
all
was,
the
was the big
time,
advocate
dude.
for you is gone now. You do see that all the time.
Yeah.
And then there's left with this level of management where like, yeah, we can slice that, get rid of that, move on,
Mm-hmm.
whole department gone, restructure. And they're like, oh, it's because I'm old and I'm Japanese.
Yeah.
The old thing does happen.
Oh, can you imagine, like, with the success he's had, his salary has grown to probably
Yeah.
a massive amount. His bonus structure probably the same. And you can get some 26-year-old kid in there fresh out of school.
Need some new blood, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Pay him $20 grand a year instead of fucking $500,000 a year or whatever. And, you see, I would see this at radio stations anywhere you were. Anytime there was new management was coming in, new ownership.
Yeah, they want their own structure.
Yeah, they want to come in. It's like a new head coach to a football team, wants his own guys, wants his own quarterback, But when you see him come in, like, you always have the same meeting, in the kitchen, there's going to be a staff meeting with to meet the new management. And they come in and such big fans. I mean, I can't tell you what an honor it is to be standing here amongst such great talent and what you guys have done to carry the legacy of radio in the Motor City. And then the next day, it's like, we'll be having some individual meetings to get to know all of you and really introduce ourselves. You go in there and it's like, so, what is it you do here?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? What is it I do here?
I thought you were a big fan.
Weren't you the big fan? Yeah. What is it you do here exactly? It's like, well, I pull some audio in the morning, okay, and then I play carts and stuff when you need it. Music beds. I can dial phone numbers, people. And you make how much a year? But I do more than that. It's not just that. It's like there are a lot of stuff. I'm
Didn't you hear yesterday
part
when
of
I
the
said
team.
when I said this thing and people laughed? That I do that.
Yeah. I'm an integral part of the team. That's all you need to know.
Fucking
So,
office.
yeah, it is. It's a real life office
like
space.
when he's like,
But can you blame a company that's going, fucking, if I'm not mistaken, he's part Japanese. Fuck that guy, first off.
wait a minute, whoa.
Just
He's-
get that on the record.
Right.
There's some sort of Jap in
You wouldn't
him.
know it by looking at him, but
Yeah.
I feel it.
You could just sense
I
it when
can
he walks in
smell
the
it.
room. Yeah. Every time he walks by, I just hear na 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 in my head. It's something. There's something there. Outside of that, this lazy fuck is 53. He's making $500,000 a year. He might be even part Japanese. We don't know for sure, but that's rumor. How do we get this fuck out of here? You can fill that hole for nothing. I mean, you can't fire someone. You can't tell them it's just because you're old and you cost too much, right?
You can't say it's because you're too old. That's correct.
Cost too much?
You can say that.
You can.
Yeah.
So I go, look,
It's an
you might be
economic
part
decision,
Japanese. More so, you cost too much. Beat it, Mr. Maynard.
dude. Yeah.
might be part Japanese.
Well, he's the one claiming it.
I know.
I've
Oh, I
never
know.
heard that, but
Right.
he's on that. Despite blaming all of its problems on Mr. Moonves and claiming that it has taken steps to improve race and gender issues at the company, today's CBS leaders, those making the key decisions on such issues, are all white males whose decisions belie CBS's self-serving rhetoric, while its leaders falsely claim to the press they are working to address this. Their behavior behind the scenes reflects the exact opposite intent, pushing out diverse individuals at the highest levels, all but ensuring that those diverse employees that remain are relegated to low levels or with far less seniority and thus kept in their place.
That's creative.
Among the ill treatment, he says, is being removed from BH 90210. Apparently, he was part of the reboot of 90210.
Oh, and that's
A
gone
show-
swimmingly, right?
Yeah, huge hit, I think. A show he helped create and was then sold to Fox after a female employee claimed he treated her inappropriately. Okay, so now it's all coming out. We've got Mr. Maynard here, possibly part Japanese, and he's treating people inappropriately. The woman told bosses, now get this, that he had not said hello to her one day in the same way he had said it to the male staff members.
Yeah. I know. Dude, believe me. For years, I'm just like, why can't people just go to work and do their jobs? Why? Why is this a thing? The drama.
We've seriously gotten to the point where someone can go, I have to file a complaint. The way that maybe even
Well, it's
part
not what he
Jap-
said, Mike, but it's how he said it.
that part Japanese fella, whatever he is, Maynard, he said hello to everybody
Yeah.
on the team, the males, in one way, and then
I've literally seen that claim before. It's part of a larger claim. Like, oh, it's because of my gender. And how do you know that? Well, because he greets me differently than he greets men.
Yeah.
He's real chummy with the men, and he's never friendly with me. It's just, dude, maybe because you suck.
yeah, maybe because he treats you like a cunt because you act like a cunt.
Yeah, maybe
You're-
that.
Maybe he treats you like a cunt because you're kind of the cunt that would go to HR and complain he didn't say hello to you like he said hello to other people.
Exhibit A, your complaint.
He is speaking. I would like to enter it into. He is seeking unspecified damages. I'm sure he's having sleepless nights.
Well, you can't put a number on that. That's
You just
emotional
can't.
distress. You
just
can't.
Sleepless nights.
Hey everybody, Twin Peaks, they believe nothing pairs better with their made-from-scratch menu than an ice-cold 29-degree draft served by the best-in-class Twin Peaks girls. Pair a signature Twin Peaks brew in a man-sized mug, Jesus, with the Carolina pulled pork sandwich, or their version of a dream team, or give the sweet and smoky ribs a shot. Whatever you choose, you're in for a meal worth cheering for. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey, let's get to some email.
Sure.
We have a couple. Sure. Go through and where can people send those if they want to email as well?
Email at DetroitCast.com. Very good. Scott writes in, hey Jay, writing to you about one of the potential life choice forks that lay ahead of you. beekeeping, RV owner, and Florida. Back in cast number 1232, 10757. Upon returning from a visit to the Sunshine State, you mused about why people choose to live in Michigan. And not an original thought. Everybody does that. Why do we
Right.
live here?
Yeah, why do we stay
Why are we
here?
doing this? I'm sure you're having those feelings right now,
Every
Mike.
day. Yeah.
You come back from
Sure.
beautiful Marin County, and you're like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Now that we actually made the move to Florida, says Scott, ourselves a few months back, I wanted to share our experience with a couple of not complete lists. Cons. Moved away from friends and family. Let's be honest, I got over this quickly, says Scott. Now they come to visit me because Florida. Number 2, con. Fire ants. Holy shit. Fuck fire ants.
Yeah.
You guys familiar with fire
Oh,
ant?
yeah.
They climb
started-
upon you and then they bite all at the same
Yeah.
time. All at the same time.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Not cool, man.
Yeah,
Drivers.
they're dicks.
Those places
They're
with
dicks.
warm weather like that, dude. Florida,
Oh,
Texas.
dude, Florida's
Arizona.
it's a damn swamp.
Right.
Yeah.
Got dinosaurs
Yeah.
crawling around and stuff. It's crazy,
No, thank
man.
you.
And the humidity, ugh, no.
Drivers, lots of traffic at times. Plus, stop signs are mere suggestions, and 3-lane changes are common. Pros, weather in general, duh. Also, year-round swimming. How's your pool look right now, Mike?
Great.
Third, I have a lawn guy named Jose, a landscape guy named Angel, and a pool guy named Juan. Is that racist?
Nope.
I have a screen cage around my pool. Did you know they could put screens around pools? Fuck you, mosquitoes. No more Michigan lefts. Imagine being able to do left or U-turns off Northwestern Highway.
Dude, U-turns are the shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, why our U-turn game is so fucked in this state, but in California, it's all I do.
It's illegal here, isn't it? Unless
Yeah.
you're using a
Yes.
driveway.
Yeah.
Why is it so fucked? It's because it's illegal. You can't do
I
it.
know. Why is it illegal? It's dope as
Dangerous
hell
as
in
hell?
California. No, I do U-turns constantly in California. It's awesome.
No more 8 months of gray skies, my personal favorite, says Scott. But the real reason, it's awesome down here because of the attached pic, spoiler, a street sign for Midget Place. Oh, yes. He's taken a picture, an image, if you will, of Midget Place at Palm Drive. Look at this. This is an actual street. Midget Place.
Hell yeah.
That's where he lives. Winter Garden, Florida.
Wow.
Off Midget Place Road.
That's exceptional.
Good for you, Scott.
Was this
Good for
named
you.
after a specific midget? Or
I don't know. We need more on that, Scott. Brandon writes in, good day, gentlemen. I want to start by saying sorry for a couple douche...
By the way, I don't think he gave a fair amount of negatives. Just fire ants is all he gave.
No,
and
dude, he had others. He had fire
No, he
ants.
had losing his friends and family, which he said he didn't
Which
care
he said
about.
wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He had fire ants.
And that was
then
it.
he had bad drivers.
drivers.
That's it?
And
Yeah,
traffic
that's it.
issues.
There's a
That's his
lot
point,
worse,
I
dude.
think.
And we
Summer,
could add
I
to
would
that,
never want to
dude.
live in the summer
Yeah.
in Florida ever.
Depends where you are in Florida, but for the most part, if you're in any Tampa Bay, Naples, anything like that, you're hearing ambulances 24 hours a day because of all the old fucks that have retired there. It's a constant. That's what I remember being around Naples. My grandma was there.
I think
All
even the fire ants,
ambulances.
he just kind of waters over fire because fire ants to me is everything. It's those fucking like you said dinosaurs. It's all the little fucking animals that are
Dude.
just reptiles and shit that are just everywhere.
My grandma lived inland in Florida, so we'd go to see her. And it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours to the beach, whatever. Like, why do you live here? And it was so gross, man. Like to East Point,
Muggy
Just
and fucking hot as
muggy
fuck
as
if you're in the
fuck. You got armadillos running by. You just
Yeah.
got crazy shit. Just snakes everywhere.
Right.
swamp, dude. It's a swamp.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I mean, if you're
Dagobah
living
system.
in Miami, maybe, or maybe even Orlando.
Miami's underwater half the time.
Yeah,
though.
right. I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, I think he didn't. I don't think that Florida. Like, I can understand not wanting to live in Michigan, but I don't think Florida would be my
Where would you
perfect
go?
solution. I like Michigan a lot, but where I would, like something like North Carolina,
Yeah.
Tennessee,
Oh,
something where it's like
Tennessee.
a little more like.
To Tennessee, really?
Yeah, fuck yes.
Wow.
Because you still kind of get the seasons, but it's not crazy.
Appalachian Trail right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Jump on.
South Carolina's kind of growing on me.
That can get pretty muggy as hell
Well, I said
too.
I kind of said
Yeah.
North Carolina, not the
North is good. That's Myrtle Beach is north, right?
Yeah.
I'd still go California probably. It's too
Myrtle Beach-
expensive.
I think Myrtle Beach is south, actually. but
I don't
it?
remember.
whatever.
Vanna White's from North Carolina.
Get the point.
I know that.
Right.
Brandon, good day, gentlemen. I want to start by saying sorry for a couple douchebaggery emails I sent this year. Okay, we'll accept your apology.
don't-
He doesn't expand on that.
I'm not necessarily accepting it. It depends what he said.
Well, I think it had to do with football, because what he's about to disclose is he found something critical in the football realm that he wanted to bring to our attention. There, I was sitting on my couch watching some TV, and bam! Across the screen comes something I have not yet seen before. What is it, you ask? It's the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup. You're familiar with this?
I
I
have
could not
heard of
believe my
this.
eyes as I watched highlights of the 10th FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup. The
I think I saw
beautiful game.
highlights over the weekend of this.
Really?
It looked awesome.
Beautiful game, just got more interesting. I suggest you check it out, fellas. Keep up the good work. Brandon.
I was at the airport getting ready to fly out to California, right? So last Wednesday, I'm sitting there. I don't even realize it, but I'm wearing my cock and ball sweatshirt. Pure comfort move.
So some lad comes up, wants to talk.
Dude, this couple is just giddy.
Like, what do you think
I'm
about the new manager?
Hey. They're like, you a fan? And I was like, of. And I'm like, oh.
The cock and ball.
I said, sorta. People are trying to get me to be a fan, and so they sent the sweatshirt. They're like, oh my god, it's amazing. You should get into it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I've tried. I'm trying this and that. And I was like, they're like, yeah, we thought you were maybe a fan too, and we're big fans. I was like, yeah.
That would be a huge
And I was
deal,
like-
though, if you
I was
were
like,
them.
No,
what you-
dude, people wear Premier League stuff around the
I mean,
US
okay.
quite a bit.
yeah,
It's not
tons.
a huge deal.
I don't know, man. I think that'd be a pretty significant
I see
thing.
tons
that,
of it.
Do you?
too.
Yeah.
Where?
Everywhere I go, I see
don't-
people wearing Premier League shit.
Okay,
Tons of
I
it.
don't-
Jerseys, sweatshirts.
I call shenanigans on that, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't see
Why would you call
tons, but
shenanigans?
Because I don't.
Dude,
I'm
I
out
literally
all the
see-
time, but I don't see that much.
I'm around
stuff.
the youth
you're
game,
you're
though.
walking through the woods, though, E. That
No,
doesn't
I go
count.
to the mall and to the movie theater and
I see
Royal Oak
lots
and
of
Ann
them,
Arbor.
dude.
Okay,
Honestly,
I
I'm not
don't.
lying
Okay.
to you. I do.
Yeah, I see enough where I wouldn't say it would be remarkable. Holy shit, there's a Tottenham hoodie. But yeah, I mean,
I think it
it's
would
worth
be.
if you're sitting in an airport. Yeah, it's worth. Hey, man,
Yeah.
you like Tottenham, huh?
Well,
Like the Hotspur? The Hotspur?
Hotspur. I said to him, I said, I don't know what to make of this new coach yet. I'm kind of on the fence.
They're a
with him.
coach. Did you mean manager?
And they're like, oh, I didn't know if you knew that, I was going to tell you that. I was like, oh yeah, I'm on it. I mean, the guy's got a good
Glad I
track record.
Disclosed that
and
little factoid.
he's
a
little-
good track record.
A little older than I like.
So you
but
said he's
yeah.
got a pretty good track record.
Good track record, and hey, I'm hopeful as the next fan. I am, but time will tell.
What'd they think? Were they happy about
Oh,
that
they
change?
were thrilled. They were thrilled that there was another Hotspur diehard in the airport with them.
So, what do you think about FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup? You've seen it. That
Dude,
is a
I saw-
hard thing to play, man.
Quick highlight of it.
I mean, you've run in sand,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You've run like 20 yards in sand.
Dude played a game of volleyball
it's
in
so
sand.
hard to play soccer in sand. Yeah. Look at him go, huh?
No,
That's the
fast.
thing.
Yeah.
Where is that, E?
I have no
Abu
idea
Dhabi.
where.
Look at the cityscape there.
Yeah. Is there video or
It's in
no?
a desert region. Tahiti v. Uruguay.
What's going on here? Okay, here we go.
That'd be fun as shit, though, dude. If you were in shape,
So hard.
have you ever played
So
it?
hard to get control of the ball. Yeah, I've kicked it around. I mean, I've never played a match. But look how deep that sand is. You have no
Yeah.
idea where the ball's going to go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, your calves be burning. I'd be worried about my Achilles the whole time.
Oh, hell yeah, you would. But it's a
But,
softer surface. Probably even better for your
Man,
Achilles.
one wrong move, Mike.
These guys are pretty good.
They are. Looks like Tahiti's taking them down.
Yeah, it's been my squad for a long time. Tahiti, very good. Fuck
They
Uruguay.
dominate the
Uruguay
beach game.
sucks.
Nice shot. Yeah, we'll save the rest for tomorrow.
All right, are we back tomorrow? Are we off tomorrow?
Somebody smoking weed? Smell that?
It smells
Yes.
like farts or something.
No, it smells like weed.
Is
Yeah.
it weed or a skunk, dude? That could be a skunk.
I mean,
Somebody smoking weed.
it smells like weed to me personally, but
I am not, for the record.
It's like it just came through the vents.
Maybe.
It's a magical place, this studio.
So what is our plan? We should flush this out right now. Are we
Flesh it out or flush it out?
flesh it out? Flush it out.
I would flesh it out.
Flesh it
but-
out. If we've got our reads in, I don't know. How about we'll let you know?
okay.
All right, let's get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for hanging with us today. And if we don't talk to you, have a great Thanksgiving. If we do, we'll see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.